How do we reconcile Jesus' words with the need for safety and emotional well-being?
This is a very debated topic, but I'm going to share with you what I have learned and what I have studied. We have to go back to the context of the culture of the moment. Back in Jesus' days, there were two schools of thought regarding marriage and divorce. One was the school of Shammai that says that a man should divorce his wife only because he has found grounds for it in unchastity, since it is says because he has found her indecency in a thing, and it's referring to Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 1. That was the first line of thought, that the only way to divorce a woman was if there's indecency or immorality. The other school of thought was the school of Hillel, which says that even if she spoiled his dish, since it said, because it has found her indecency of a thing. So it was two extreme lines of thoughts. One was like the only way to divorce a woman is immorality or adultery, some type of indecency. And the other one is saying, even if she burns the food, you can divorce her. Now, remember that back in those days, women did not have the power to divorce anyone. They were kind of like a property of the man. It was the man who would be divorcing the woman. So they were interpreting Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 1, which allows a man to divorce his wife if he's found some indecency. Some version says something offensive. Other version says some uncleanliness in her. When we go to the scriptures, there was one more occasion where the Pharisees tried to trap Jesus, debating about legal divorce, and Jesus says they're missing the point. Men are looking for godly reasons to ditch their wives, but they're asking, where's the legal line when we are allowed to divorce? Jesus knows divorce is harmful, so his primary concern relates to the wisdom of divorce, not whether it's allowed or not. And I'm gonna use this illustration that I was reading. Imagine a child that comes to you or comes to his mom and says, "Mom, when can I get radiation?" Mom is gonna say, "Hopefully never. Radiation is very harmful to the body, so I want you to live a healthy life." Let's say radiation is divorce. We don't want to ever experience radiation. But what if that child has cancer and is so advanced that the only way to attack it will be through radiation? Then the lesser of the two evils is radiation. We're going to allow radiation in order for this child to have a chance to live. It's going to kill some good cells too, but it's going to kill the bad ones too. So when it comes to divorce, Jesus knows it's harmful. Nobody that ever experiences a divorce will be the same. Because when you marry that person, you became one flesh. The Bible says it's a covenant. It's sacred. Your lives have intertwined. You're no longer two, you're one. Divorce will be very painful. But there are situations where it will be more harmful staying in that situation. Remember, Jesus is the defender of those that can't defend themselves. He is the one that fights for the widow and the orphan and those that are mistreated and abused and stepped on. Jesus is protecting the women when he's saying you can just divorce her for whatever, any little thing that you desire. Only adultery, only immorality, only something that is going to damage her more than staying in that marriage. And I believe that can apply to situations where she's being hit on, she's being mistreated, whether in words, emotionally, physically, because the damage of staying in that situation is going to be more than if she's removed from it. The same thing as the radiation. There's moments where you have to do the radiation. It's not the best choice. It's just the lesser of the two, because divorce is painful, and anybody that has experienced one or has been the victim of one, in the sense of being a child perhaps of parents that divorced, know that there's so much pain involved in divorce that it's not something to be taken lightly. But there are situations where Jesus understands that it will be more painful to stay there than to be removed from it. But again, that's not giving you a open pass to divorce for any little reason, because nowadays the marriage is taken so lightly that is not right. And so we have to be careful not to go the other at the other extreme either, because marriages are going to be difficult. No marriage is going to be easy. We're going to have up and downs. We're going to have situations that are going to be difficult, but we made a covenant before God, and we
Yeah.
must stand by that covenant. And we got to trust God that God is going to help us through every situation we encounter along the way. And as a person that's been married for 29 years, I can testify that it's not easy.
Yeah.
But
That's right.
it requires God to be in this relationship in order to make it.
Absolutely.
But if you are
Absolutely.
willing to put in the work, if you're willing to get past the difficulties, if you're willing to fight and stand in the gap and pray and invest in your marriage, it is worth it. It's the one relationship God uses to compare his relationship to the church. It's a
Wow.
relationship that has a mystery in it. It's so deep that God values it. So
Yeah.
we cannot take it lightly. So divorce, it is an option in some cases, but it's not the best option in most cases.
Thank you for that explanation.